Coach, this is the kind of game that the players get really excited about because of the challenge at hand. Can you talk a little bit about what North Dakota State brings?
They're a good football team. They're well coached. They're sound. They play hard. They play the right way. And I say they're a good football team that they don't beat themselves. They you got to go in and you got to go earn it. And that's should be a good challenge.
Coach, it seemed like in some of the games they've won this year, big plays seem to help them get up in those games. Did you think that's correct?
Yeah, they prey on you. You got to be very disciplined against them. You have to fit things right in the run game. You have to have your eyes in the right place in the passing game. They're gonna run. They're gonna play action. They're gonna try and prey on you to be in the wrong places at times. And usually when you are, they take advantage of it. So you have to be you have to understand who they are and you got to execute well.
So as long as you're talking about their offense, talk about some of the individual threats as much as their systematic threats.
Well, I think their quarterback's a really good player. They have, 3 or 4 good backs. They kind of rotate through, and they kind of use all their guys. They play multiple guys, and they use speed motion and cross motion, and they make you defend the whole field and defend everybody. Everybody is a threat, and so it's very well thought out. It's a good offense.
Some of the players we talked to earlier, Coach, says they kind of look forward to this matchup because of what happened last year. From a coaching standpoint, I know you're not part of the game. Do you kind of look at it that way as well, or not?
Well, me personally, I enjoy playing good football teams. I got a tremendous amount of respect for them and for their program, and they present a good challenge for you.
Do you spend any time this week preaching to the guys to kind of temper their excitement, or do you want them fired up for this kind of matchup?
I don't really change my approach. It's about take care of today. All I'm worried about is Tuesday. Doing what we need to do to get ready and have a good practice, and we'll talk more about it as the week goes on. But I'm more into the technical aspect of it right now.
They've scored 9 points, and I know you can have numbers look any way you want to. Is that just, or is it slowing start, or is it just the opposition to a little bit that they've only scored 9 points in the first quarter?
Who?
North Dakota State.
Oh, I wasn't even aware of that, to be honest with you. I don't, I know one thing, if you don't execute and you don't play the right way, they're going to score more than 9 points. I don't know what the reason is behind that. I hope they score no points.
Want to address the current struggles that your offense is going through?
Just the other day, it was a guy here, a guy there, a mid-drop ball here, whatever it may be. I thought we moved the ball, and we ran for almost 200 yards. We moved the ball between the 20s, and then a lot. We had opportunities for points. Obviously we don't want to turn the football over, and that's always an issue, always a concern. But I thought we played better last week. We did some better things. You have to turn them into points, and we had. It was just one of those games, that I felt like we were in control, but we were behind, and it was like, until the punt return happened, I was like, heck, I was scared we were going to run out of time, because we couldn't punch it in, we couldn't make a play when we needed to make a play, and we had our opportunities, and we just got to keep working to get better, we'll have a little success. You get some success, and that'll breed confidence, and that's what needs to happen. We need to score points, and at the end of the day, make sure that if nothing else, that as we're working through it, that we're not giving the opponent short fields, because that's a big part of it.
How much rust do you think Hunter knocked off last week, and how that benefited this?
I thought a lot. Obviously he settled down as the game went on, and the one throw really wasn't his fault. The one he underthrew, and obviously, everybody that's ever played that position, there's something you're going to want back, but he underthrew it, and The other one, the guy who intercepted the ball probably shouldn't even have been in that position. If we would have run the route right on the other side. So he was a little late on the throw, and the backer had a guy brought the backer over into that position, and he made the right read. He was just a little late on it, and we got to help. We got to play better around him. Make sure that we don't, bring a guy over into that area.
Where's the quarter? I mean, is Ricky okay? Is he healthy? But did he play? Is Hunter your?
Yeah, we'll see as the week goes on. It's three guys I have confidence in, and Hunter's the main guy right now, and we'll see how it goes, see how the week goes.
What happened to Ricky? Was it a head injury or?
Yeah, I don't. You'd have to talk to the doctors about that.
You talk a little bit about North Dakota State's defense.
Good for they play good. They're very sound. They play hard. They're aggressive, and they do a good job on defense. They're very sound in what they do, and we're gonna have to execute well.
Anything about their system that is either familiar or particularly challenging? Or?
They mix their coverage. They're a 4-3 front, a 4-3 base, and play some of that Tampa too. They play they'll kind of play two high, mix in a little bit of single high, and then then they'll blitz off of it out of different looks, and they're well coached. They understand how it works, how the fits work, and they do it well. They're extremely sound in what they do.
Derek said that they're very similar to Youngstown State in what they do. It's almost like practicing against it every day, I guess. Is that a benefit going into this one?
Are you saying their offense and our?
Just the way they play the game is very similar to the way you guys try to play the games.
Well, there are some similarities. I think that obviously there's some differences and some schematic things, and but they're I like to think that we're pretty sound in what we do, and I would say the same thing applies. The same front, maybe some different philosophies. Some different. I don't want to get into the intricate details of it, but there are some differences in how we play. But there are some similarities.
Coach, I've always been curious. Like late in the game, it seemed like you guys had a lot of success sending some pressure on the quarterback toward the end of the game and throughout the game. When you're up like late in the game, how do you weigh whether to send more pressure or kind of sit back with the lead with coverage? Like, how do you, as a defensive coach, how do you kind of weigh that?
Well, you're gonna take your shots when you feel like it's some of it's gut feel, some of it's preparation and an understanding what they're trying to accomplish, some of it's situation. We mix it up pretty good and try to keep people off balance, give them different looks, and obviously with the ends we have that can rush the passer, you feel sometimes you can get pressure, rushing for, which is always a little, ideal. But, let's face it, no matter how good your ends are, at times you got to bring some extra people or really, to really cause some problems up front. And so we just try to keep people off balance and pick our shots.
What's been missing from Isaiah Scott's game that's kind of holding him back from being a part of the offense?
Probably inconsistency. Hopefully he'll have a good week of practice this week. He had some couple issues last week he had to take care of, and then so we'll see. Hopefully we get it back out there this week.
With the amount of success this team's had over the last 5 years, does anything stand out with them that they do better than everybody else in film?
I think that, like I said, I think they're very sound. I think they're well coached. They play a certain way. They kind of just do what they do, and they make you beat them at their game. I think they do a nice job. You got to go in there and earn it, and you got to play 4 quarters of good, sound football in all 3 phases of the game, because for the most part they're going to too. And but obviously, I haven't been to this dome, but I heard that's a good good home field advantage. I heard it's loud, so that'll be a fun atmosphere for hopefully two good football teams going at it.
This will be the second time in 3 weeks you'll be playing for first place in the conference on the road. What can you or have you taken from the first experience into this one that you think might help?
Well, hopefully we get off to a better start, and don't put ourselves behind the 8 ball. But you don't know how the game's going to go. You just never do. You hope it goes your way early. Whether it does or it doesn't, you just got to keep playing and try and play 4 quarters and give yourself an opportunity at the end. And that's the mindset. But you got to be prepared for anything. You got to have a strong mindset. You got to be mentally tough, and you got to be ready to go. And it starts today. We got to prepare very well for this football team.
I know most of your background obviously been on the defensive side, but with the defense being so much more comfortable in the system, have you been able to kind of get more into the offensive side this year?
Yeah, I mean more recently. We'll see. I'm hands-on and I'm not going to sit there and say, you got to do this, you have to do that. I'm just there to say, help them in any way possible as far as, using my expertise, obviously, on the defensive side of the ball and how to attack people.